unless I sacrifice doesn't make me a good human being. It's not true. You have to be in good space yourself. If you're in a bad mood, you're putting everybody around you in that bad space. Yeah, I don't judge and I don't like to be judged, and if you judge, very little really matters to me.
Every day is a different challenge, different people, different situation. How do you tune your brain?
It's not as different as people think. If you notice one thing about most successful people, they love themselves.
Yes.
Only then you can excel in. And nothing wrong in loving yourself.
It's not selfish.
Not everything's not selfish.
Yeah.
Because that's something I do 365 days.
It's amazing that you work out every single day, Vana. That's fantastic.
Because I aspire to look like, really? The whole world tells me how well I drape my sari. She said, what rubbish. You're one of the worst people I know. Sometimes we feel, thank God they told us. Imagine if they told us we were good, what would we be? Basket cases. You know, I'm a very relaxed mother. I don't put my aspirations on my children. See, second children are far more independent than the older one.
She has twins. So she
My ball game is very different.
She has no idea what we're talking about.
Hi, I'm Nupoor Mohan, founder of The Full Circle, and today I'm honored to welcome a remarkable guest who brings a unique perspective on mental health awareness in India. Joining us today is a distinguished parliamentarian, a social advocate, and one of India's most influential voices for progressive healthcare reform. Representing the Baramati constituency in Maharashtra, she has consistently championed initiatives that bring mental health to forefront in public policy discussions. Today, we'll explore her journey as an advocate, the challenges of mental health awareness in India's diverse cultural landscape, and her vision for creating more supportive environments where psychological well-being is prioritized alongside physical health. Supriya Sule, ma'am, it's an absolute pleasure to have you at the Full Circle.
Thank you.
Ma'am, I wanted to ask, what's that one thing you do purely for joy? No work.
Walk or yoga? Outside my work, you're saying. So, walk or yoga, one of the two.
Answer is going to be the same.
No. I have a different answer for that. Pure joy, and not pure torture, because sometimes exercise can be torture. Pure joy would be playing a board game with the kids or doing something with the kids when they're not irritating me.
That's very rare.
No, it's 50-50.
So a quote or a life mantra that always grounds you.
PER. Pause, evaluate, and respond. Never react. That's my mantra.
That's beautiful. While I was listening to you say that, PER is the first three letters of perfection. If only we could always.
You should try.
Yes, my mantra would be, this too shall pass. Be it the good times, be it the not so good times, just keep yourself somewhere in the center. The good times shouldn't get to you and the bad times shouldn't get to you. This too shall pass.
Yes. Bang on for that one. So what instantly calms you down? What brings you back from a lot of chaos? I mean, this can be very difficult considering the current situation. You are at the forefront. You are a calmer side, and I'm seeing you this version, but I have also seen you at work where you're relentless and you don't stop. So what just calms you down in the chaos?
Going for a run, lifting very heavy weights, 30 minutes of sweating, and the endorphins come out, and I know at the end of a workout, on the other side of a workout, I'm feeling good. It's amazing that you work out every single day, Vana. That's fantastic.
Because I aspire to look like this. But I'm not getting there as yet.
You look better. You look amazing.
Let's not get is no woman's ever happy with her body. So I don't think we're...
While we were driving here, I offered her, because I was getting anxious for this. So I said, do you want to have this, a small chocolate? She's like, I'm off sweets. Like, if you're off sweets, I don't know what I have to go.
She looks like this because she's off sweets.
Yeah. So a small daily ritual, which is your secret treasure. It can be anything. It can be with the kids. It's your family ritual, which you guys do every year. Something which is going to remind your kids about your presence when you're not there.
Oh, something my kids will remember.
Yes, something which you've done with them. Like today was my kids' first exams. They are just tiny, 8-year-olds, and they called me up at 7:30 like, Mama, can you tell Nanu what is the recipe of shakkar chini? Dahi chakkar. मैंने बोला, that is my ritual with them. So whenever they're going for ABCD exam also, they want me to feed that. So they keep on coming back to that. So what's your ritual?
For my kids?
Yes.
Or for
that
anything.
one thing which you do with your kids.
Or for anything.
Or for anything.
Any ritual that you have that.
It's There's nothing like that in my life now that you said it, asked me. That I always joke with my children because they'll say, whenever they see a movie and they talk about mother cooking something. See, mom, when it comes to our turn, we'll always say, our mom was the best mom. She took us only to McDonald's because she never cooked anything for us. So it's a very common joke in the home that mom needs a GPS to find the kitchen because I'm so hopeless at it. So
But I'm sure dahi chini you can
Dahi
do.
chini you can do.
Well, I'm very less ritualistic. That's what I will tell you.
Okay.
So there's nothing really specific that you can pin me down. And this question, which is about my kids, you'll have to ask them. I don't think I'm in a position to answer that question.
I'm sure I'll get something coming my
Yeah,
way
I'm
from
just
the Gen
thinking,
Zs.
really, I'm not so sure that they would. So.
Okay, so you both are.
I have a ritual, but it's not a ritual that I do for my children. It's a ritual
For yourself.
that's a part of my life. When I exercise, I say my prayers. So that
you
way,
say your prayers when
at
you're
the same
exercising.
time. So I never miss my exercise and I never miss my prayers because both are a part of each other.
Oh, really?
So even if I'm lifting weights, I've got my prayers going on, and I don't. It's not about I don't believe that you need to go to a certain place to bow down and fold your hands.
Yeah,
if you have prayer in your heart,
Absolutely.
it doesn't matter if you're saying it before you go to sleep or whether you're lifting weights and saying it or whether you're going for a run and saying it. So my prayers never get missed and my exercise never gets missed. So that's my ritual.
That's a very good way.
I can actually second that
Even-
because
yeah.
that's something I do 365 days.
So even when you're walking and you're exercising, even if you're going for a walk, you say your prayers.
Yeah.
It's two really good habits at the same time.
Yeah. Coming back to something which is common in both of you. So you both are mothers to a boy and a girl. So how is your parenting different with your son, Vijay, and how is it different with Revati? So I'm sure you would have seen the difference.
Not really. I'm a very relaxed mother. I don't put my aspirations on my children. So first child, of course, is your first child. And your second child, in my case, just grew. Because I don't even think I taught Vijay nursery rhymes. I'm like, he'll figure it out, Because you go to the first day of Revati's school, the excitement was so high. By the time the second thing, he's only going to school. Because you knew the whole school, you know the
Yeah.
teachers. So with the second child, clearly I was far more relaxed. But at the same time, I'm one of those easy mothers.
Also, I think with the second child, you figure it out. Because the first anxiousness to do everything for the first time, that thing keeps on playing in your head.
I guess you're not aware. So, you're going, you
It's
don't
the
know
first
what
time.
It's the first time you're going to a kindergarten. So
Yeah.
you don't know how to fill a form. Second time you've done it.
Yes.
So you know how to
Second
fill
time
it.
you're going as
Yeah.
sibling. With the
Sibling,
sibling, you'll
yeah,
get the
yeah,
admission.
yeah. So it's-
But with Taru, it's been my daughter is adopted. I got her at the age of 4.5. She came with zero education. She came with nothing. All she could do was dance to Hindi songs. So she got no stimulation coming to her. So we had to work a little extra hard with her because we had to teach her the concept of color. We had to teach her the concept.
Oh my God, so
Yeah.
it's absolutely zero.
Yes.
Absolutely zero.
Wow.
So, she's a little behind in her studies. But having said that, she came as a ready-made little human being to us. And she was very independent, and girls are more independent than boys. So there's one part of her where I don't have to worry about at all. She takes care of herself. But as far as the
She's the
education
second
part,
child.
she's the second
She's the
child.
second.
That's why. See, second children are far more independent than the older one. Because we only put so much into our older child
Yes.
that we actually don't let our our first child actually,
Yeah.
to take decisions because they are
Yes.
sitting on their head all the time. But the second one, ho jayega, dekh liga, chalo.
She has twins. So she
My
doesn't.
ball game is very different.
you have
I
no
have to
idea
do
what
it
we're talking about.
simultaneously. For me, everything is like vaccination, 2 kids, admission, 2 kids,
That's
projects, 2. So when I'm making a
Oh, you
project,
get
and
on
they-
with it once. So lucky
and they're
actually.
best friends also because
Yeah, you're
twins
not
will
looking for
always be
company,
best friends,
yes.
right? Yeah.
Okay, one totally unexpected thing that always makes you laugh.
Ooh.
I know.
You go first.
See, what unexpected things makes me laugh? I don't know, actually, it's hard. I laugh a lot, and I laugh a lot at work. Because there's always something funny happening.
Yeah.
I have some favorite stand-up comedians. So when I really want to just be happy and not use my mind, take my mind off things that are going on, I put on stand-up comedy, and I laugh out loud. I enjoy stand-up comedy.
No, I have a lot of jokes at work. So
Oh.
that keeps us going.
That's good. It's
Surrounded
great to have
with
a
so many different
spirit like that.
personalities.
No, it's very interesting because there's somebody who's funny, because you're constantly working with people, so there's always some character who's around you who's very entertaining.
Yeah.
And keeps you amused or does something which amuses everybody. So it's always nice.
So with our work life, let it be IT, let it be industry, there is a set routine. Your life is not monotonous. Every day is a different challenge, different people, different situation. How do you tune your brain? Like, how do you go with the flow? Or are you just go in and let's finish the day and let's see what we want to do at the end
No, it
of the day?
doesn't work like that. It's not that vague as you make it out to be. Our life was quite structured. 100 days of parliament,
Yeah.
how will it be different? It's the same as you. Like you have some
Yeah.
decisions differently
Yes,
to take, or
96.
debates or a board meeting. It's the same way. So it's not as different as people think it is. You're in a city, if you're going to say Pune on work, you're meeting the collector.
Yeah.
You're discussing the similar issue. So it's not as different as you all would like to think it is. It's
Actually,
not.
in entertainment, it's very different. In entertainment, every day of the week is something
Yours actually could be
completely
more
different. So
different
one day
than
I'm doing something for a brand, one day I'm hosting an event, one day I'm speaking at an event, one day I'm standing on stage performing a play. And I think the variety really makes me love my job even more.
Yeah.
Because every day is different. Every day
Yeah.
comes with something new. So
I think it's a lot of people, I think in most professions are like that.
Yeah. So what is woman power to you? More because even in the situation where we are in war, you saw the briefing of the fight was given by women army officers from Navy and Army. So we are changing the positioning of women in India right now. It's clearly seen, and we are
We
doing
have
loud
very
statements.
strong-
We have
Look
strong
who's talking,
inspiration.
all of us.
Yes.
And there's some here as well, behind the camera.
there's plenty of woman power
Woman power.
around us, around what in the circles we move in. But for it to be, for the smaller towns and the villages, and for empowerment to happen there, there's still some time. There's
And
still.
I think also on the men's side, I think they need to tackle the women.
I just want to say this, that being in the entertainment business, I just think it's the job of people in entertainment to put out content that inspires, that makes people, you see men treating women badly on TV and you think it's okay, and I think
Yeah.
we as people from entertainment need to put out much more aspirational content, because a lot of people see this at home, so they think, they see
relate to
their
it.
mother and their father having an equation which is not a good equation, and they think that's the norm, and then that continues forever and ever, and you see that on television, and that reinforces that.
Yeah.
We need to put out some positive and aspirational content, so people, you've got to have good examples out there.
Yeah.
For there to be change, for there to be actual change, for there to be equality, for there to be two parents who are on the same.
Yeah. Right now it's monkey see, monkey do. True. So now you talk about physical health and mental health. Many a times when you're in depression, I'm coming from the mental side right now, you don't feel like focusing on your physical health. But either you are too fit when you're in depression or you go through that. How do you have a balance?
Firstly, the first thing, okay, physical health, if you're on a journey, like Supriya ma'am is, and I am too, you know that you know what you've got to do every single day. You make sure you do it. I work out every single day, some
We all
form
have
of
very
activity.
structured lives.
So make sure we do it.
Very disciplined.
Now the thing about mental health is the first step is, and a lot of people can go through life sleepwalking. First step is being aware that something is
Yeah.
amiss.
Yeah.
A lot of people just go through life lashing out at people, speaking poorly, disrespecting people. They are very angry people who've got a lot of issues that they've not processed or dealt with.
Yeah.
First step is awareness that something is amiss. Second step is doing something about it. So I used to be a very, very angry person. I'm not that anymore because I realized I was a very angry person, and I was just not nice to the people around me. And the first step is awareness and saying, you know what, something needs to be done about it. And then actually taking those steps. And then very often hearing some very hard truths. When you go to a psychologist, you go to a psychiatrist, you go to a counselor, a therapist, they'll show you a mirror. They you know, that's the good thing about going to someone you don't know.
No.
Yeah.
You go to a friend, your friend will always be on your side. But if someone...
Or you feel very judged by somebody, you know.
Yes, yes.
What a friend may tell you, your therapist, you will be thinking, really, I need to improve it. But if your friend tells you the same thing, it's like, my God, you're really intruding into my space.
Yes.
You know, it's the same thing.
An outsider giving you a point of view and giving you a perspective and showing you a mirror is much more valuable than a friend doing it. And then acting upon it.
Yeah.
Awareness, action, and, you know, awareness, doing something about it, and then, you know what, implementing it, internalizing it, doing something about it, and living that, and walking that talk.
Yeah.
So I mean, when you've got one part of it sorted out, great. But until, I mean, you could have a six-pack, but none of it counts for anything if you're not okay up here. I think this is more important than anything else. So once, you know, you realize, and even when small things are amiss and going off, if it's something that you can process yourself, great. If it goes away in the next day and you've processed it in whatever way you're capable of doing it, great. But if something persists for a period of time,
It's a problem.
yeah, it's a problem, and then you have to be aware that there's something gnawing and something not right. So let's do something about it.
Yes. And that was one of our initial discussions. And when she came to know about the full circle, what we are doing in the company, she really walks the talk. Like she's gone through so much with her career, with losing a spouse, adopting a child. Her journey has been so different. And then she could resonate, and all that what she wanted to do, even part of Full Circle, she's one of the co-founders in the company, was because she wanted to use her space of influencing for the right cause. Like, I don't want to just influence for a sari or for a cosmetic brand. If it is one person's life which I can change, I want to be part of this project. And I was just going back to our discussion. The last question which I want to ask, which is our statement question, is how do you come full circle in life with the journey?
Well, there's a lot of aspects to everybody's life, and it's something very, very personal. And you have to love yourself first. You notice one thing about most successful people, they love themselves.
Yes.
Only then you can excel in life. And nothing wrong in loving yourself.
It's not selfish.
Not everything is not selfish.
Yeah.
Or, you know, that whole thing of unless I sacrifice doesn't make me a good human being. It's not true. You have to be in good space yourself, and then you can make other people happy. If I'm in a happy space, my whole office is happy.
Yeah.
Because I come with that, like what you said.
With that energy.
With that energy, it's like, oh God, and the whole office smiles.
Yes.
If you're in a bad mood, you're putting everybody around you in that bad space. And then you're like, is it really worth it at the end of the day?
Yeah.
Because, you know, what are you doing? I keep always telling myself, never lose your goal. I tell myself, I correct myself almost every day, every week. That what am I looking for? Is my goal clear? If it's ever cloudy, I'm like, hello, this needs to be corrected.
Yeah.
So unless there's clarity in your mind of what you want to achieve with your life, and there's nothing right and nothing wrong. Each one, I don't judge, and I don't like to be judged. And if you judge, very little really matters to me. But one big change I thought I made in myself, which really helped me personally, when people criticize me, I used to feel very bad. Now I don't, because I see what a fool I am. The fact that they're criticizing me, it's giving me feedback. It's a scope if I'm genuinely on a self-improvement journey.
Yeah.
And I do this even politically. If they say something about me politically, I'm like, boom, this is what I need to correct, so I don't do this again.
Yeah.
Because and you know, there are two ways. Your mother criticizes you, because my mother really gives me hopeless feedback. And I have my younger cousin Abhijit, and I always laugh about it. My cousin Ashwini, Abhijit and me are very close in age, and our mothers are very aggressive. You know, Maharashtrian mothers are like that, I feel.
They're
You find
dominating also.
only wrong in your children. So my mom and my aunt, who unfortunately we lost just a few months ago, we three are very close, and we always said that, you know, thank God we had some self-esteem, because if we had listened to our mothers, we'd be just cry buckets to our pillow. It's like, I'm not worth this while, because our mothers have brought up like that. Really? You're not good enough for this? I'm like, really? You know, and then we laugh about it. I don't know how it worked in a society or a
Parenting is
environment. It was
different.
like, yeah, but like my mom, even when you leave her, say, oh my God, look at your hair. I'm like, really? And so badly you wear your sari. I'm like, really? The whole world tells me how well I drape my sari. She said, what rubbish. You're one of the worst people I know who drapes a sari. I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, now it doesn't matter. But can you imagine growing up your entire life being told that you're not good enough?
Yeah.
Well, we three turned out okay, I think. And sometimes we feel, thank God they told us. Imagine if they told us we were good, what would be basket cases. But it's a society you lived in. Parenting was only about criticism. So it was okay. I can't remember my parents ever telling me one nice thing about me. If they don't say anything, means you know everything's okay.
No news is good news.
Yeah.
This happens with our clients.
They are never complimenting. I don't know. I always feel that all Maharashtrian parents are like that. They feel, oh my God, if you talk well about your children, it's very bad. You should only run them down.
Let me tell you, all parents of a certain generation are like that.
So that's also, we
My
always
mom
keep
also,
laughing.
she's
There's
always
nothing
telling
right.
me what to do and how to do
Yeah.
it, and I'm like, do I do
Nothing
anything
is-
right?
Yeah, there's nothing you do right.
But to be fair, you know, parenting has changed so much over the years,
Yeah.
and there's so much now that's available where you get to learn that these are the ways you should speak to your children.
And look
or
at the
shouldn't
validation
you
we
do.
give to our kids.
Yes, it's different now. Yes, and I've also changed in my parenting journey. I was parenting them the way I was parented.
Correct.
And then I had to change that. I had to course correct.
Yeah.
But some lovely things that you said. One is that you know, when you get criticism, you take it as feedback, and I think that
do.
is so beautiful because
It's the best. Because
in
if you're on a
life,
self
yes.
journey, isn't it amazing if I told you something
and
like,
it's-
oh,
instead
man.
of taking it personally,
Not at all.
There's this very beautiful book called The 4 Agreements. Okay, it's just and the 4 agreements are very simple, and one of them is don't take anything personally.
Yes.
Because what anybody says, firstly, maybe a reflection of them and what they're going through in their heads, and the second thing, it could be something constructive that
Absolutely.
and it's not to hurt you or harm you or put you down, but to maybe give you feedback. So this is a very beautiful thing. Don't take anything personally, take it as feedback. And self-love, the other thing you talked about it's so badly, it's given such a bad rap. Self-love is selfishness.
Selfish.
It's not
at all.
Self-love is taking care of yourself. Self-love is loving yourself enough, pouring into your cup so you can't pour out of an empty cup, right? You fill your cup so you can be the best wife and the best mother and the best a daughter and the best sister and the best friend that you can for everyone. So I think
You
it's
have
so
to
good.
aspire. It never happens. Huh?
Yeah.
Let me
And
break
this
the
is
bubble.
work in progress.
No, but the thing is,
I'm just bursting the bubble.
I learned self-love only in my 40s, very late in my
Yeah,
life.
but we all learn at our stage. I learned PR so late in life. My children mock me and say, I wish you learned it when you were in school.
Doesn't matter.
I said,
Whenever you
"Rubbish.
learnt it is
It's
good."
better late than never.
Yes.
So, thank you so
Thank
much for your time.
you so much. Thank you for your time. Thank you for doing this for us.
And you are really something else. So much
So much-
elegance, grace, shanti.
Calmness.
Look who's talking.
No, I mean it, really.